All right. Well, hey there, everyone. It is a beautiful Monday afternoon here in Toronto, the middle of the summer. It's my favorite month of the year. Um, some of you might know this, but my birthday's in July. It just passed last week. I'm now 43. And I think that's one of the reasons why I just love the month because it's like birthday month, lots of celebrations, lots of fun. It's hot. I'm a big hot weather fan. I know it's a contentious topic, and it's getting progressively more hot. So, yeah, in this country and everything and everywhere, but I'm totally fine with it. I've embraced the art of cold showers, and I don't know if that's because I'm now in my early 40s or because it's just hot and I need one. But yeah, instead of, oh, thanks everyone for all the birthday wishes. Instead of taking like even remotely warm showers, like it's not, my shower dial isn't even at the midpoint anymore. It's clocking toward cold. And I've always been a fan of the ice plunge, but oh, Chicago Tours, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. If anybody wants to become a member, they certainly can. It's a really nice way to support the channel. You also get access to custom emojis and you get badges and all kinds of cool things. But that's really nice of you. Thank you so, so much for joining the membership program. Yeah, anyway, I've always loved ice baths. Like, whenever you go to a spa and you can like do the sauna and then jump into an ice bath. Tell me if you've ever done that before or if you're scared to do it. It just feels so good. It really does require a leap of faith and a little bit of bravery, but oh my God, it feels so good. Wow, you are all being very generous with your birthday wishes, and I definitely appreciate the sentiment. It's funny, like I know some people, they're very shy to say their age. But I am just proud of my age. Like I've been here for 43 years. I don't feel 43. And yeah, don't be shy to say your age. Be proud that you've made it this far. So yeah, the way that these lives work is essentially I'm here to answer any and all cleaning questions. This is sort of like a cleaning AMA or ask me anything. You can ask me anything. I will choose if I want to answer it or not. Like if it's inappropriate, I'm not going to answer the question. But if it's appropriate and somewhat cleaning related, I'm happy to go there with you. You can also join me live if you want. If you want to chat face to face, I've got a link for you down there, and all you need to do is click that link in the comments. It'll bring you up right beside me. Don't be shy. I am easy to talk to, and yeah, we can have some fun and chat through any and all of your cleaning questions. It's actually easier for me because then I can sort of in real time kind of quiz you on like, okay, like where's that stain, where did it come from? Whereas, if I'm just sort of shooting in the dark based on a one line sentence, my answers might not always be as accurate. I realize that my lights aren't turned on in here, so I hope the lighting is okay. I'm just basing it off of a beautiful big window. But my pot lights I forgot to turn on. So sorry about that technical difficulty there. Let us know where you're watching from. I always love to know that. Some questions are coming in. I'm going to start to deal with those in one sec. Just a couple pieces of business I want to cover. First of all, over at Makers Clean, our sister business, you can visit that at makersclean.com or makersclean.ca. We'll get a link for you in the comments as well. Our face cloths, which are like those amazing, luxurious, feel so good. Yeah, there they are. Oh, yeah. You get the regular face cloth, and then you get sort of the smaller ones, which are great for eye makeup removers. My daughter loves using them as her own face cloths, like the little guys. The other ones are sort of too big for her little tiny face. So she likes those. So I stock her bathroom up with those. But, you do you. Anyway, they're 20% off right now. So if you're interested in giving them a try, great time to pick some up. Also, we covered membership, Chicago Tours. Thank you so much for joining us. If anyone else wants to join, we've got a link for you in the description, as well as the Dirty Dish. So I think I mentioned this last live, but we totally revamped the Dirty Dish. And I am working with my best friend, ChatGPT, to make it real fun and funny, and sort of a short clip, easy to read type thing. Because one thing you might know about me by now is that I like to talk a little too much and my writing is the exact same. So ChatGPT really helps me rein it in and just make it a little more fun and easy to read. But yeah, it's all about like, tackling one specific topic, giving you like the best tips or things that you need to deal with that. And you can always send your questions in too. Okay, let me stop chatting. Oh, candy nails. Yeah. What do we think of my nails? So I went totally neon because it's the summer and I can. And I will say long nails make it hard to type. So I'm sorry if I'm a little slower these days. But I did like neon pink, neon orange, and then neon yellow. And I get it. It's a divisive look, but I love it. And all my friends make fun of me and they can just continue getting French manicures. That's totally fine. Okay, let's get to Catherine's question. All right, if you have people reaching out to you to hire you for cleaning, but you live far away from the people who are trying to hire you, what do you do? Oh, that's a tough one, Catherine, because I know you're trying to build your business and you don't want to say no to people. And at the beginning, of course, you can say yes, but then what happens when you start to get busy, right? You get into this paradox where you have these clients, they've been loyal to you, but it's, a 30-minute, 45-minute drive. And then you can't service the people who are close to you. So I suppose what you could do is you could take them on for now and you can just say, I'm building my business. So I can take you on for now, but then, there might come a point where I'm no longer able to service you. Now, if it's completely out of control, like they're an hour away, obviously you can just say, I'm so sorry, I'm not in your area. What I usually recommend for people is just to go online or go on a local Facebook group and get a really good referral, Catherine. If it's like too far out of your, willingness to drive, then you can do that. I think I'm just going to run and turn my lights on because I feel like it's a little bit dark here. Hold on one second, my friends. Let me just go do that. There we go. That feels a lot better, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Okay, let me get to my next question. So, Catherine, I hope that helped you. Okie doke. Let's see. We've got a question about orange. Okay. My question is, how do I start cleaning if some mess built up due to sickness? Yeah, just start where you are, do what you can. So if some mess built up due to sickness, like, does that mean you had the flu for a week and you're trying to disinfect? Or does that mean you've been sick for several months and there's been a lot of buildup? If you don't mind giving me a little bit more detail on this question, I will come back to you and I will give you a more detailed answer based on the additional information because I would like to help you. Let's go to Jason's question. Saw your great short. Oh yeah. Do you watch our YouTube shorts? They're sort of like Instagram reels, but they're available on YouTube. Anyway, if you haven't seen those, you can check our shorts out. Saw your shorts on orange enzyme for my kitty stains, wondering how I can use it on the carpet. Yeah. So there's a product that I really like called Angry Orange. And the reason it's great is because it was designed by, I don't know if it was a woman or a man, but it doesn't matter. They have like a stable and barns for horses, and they were dealing with all of these terrible animal odors all the time, and they were trying to, get rid of that smell. And they came up with this product, Angry Orange, to deal with pet stains and odors. So there's another product that everyone talks about on Amazon, Rocco and Roxy. That wasn't available. So I ordered Angry Orange and I'm like, I will give this a try and see how it works. Well, oh my gosh, it worked so well. It completely dealt with the odor. And we used to have two cats, and one cat, Paisley, used to pee everywhere all the time. And she practically like ruined the house. And I tried so many different products and nothing would work to get that urine smell out. And I can say confidently, Molly, she's not nearly as bad as Paisley was, but to clean her litter box even, and we use a stainless steel litter box. Actually, if anyone has pets, check out the video that we just uploaded called, I think it's like Kitty Litter Secrets Your Cat Won't Tell You or something like that. It's just all about like maintaining spaces with pets, namely cats, but a lot of it translates to dogs or, little critters like guinea pigs. Like the stainless steel litter box, I would use it to clean the stainless steel litter box, to clean the area where there might have been some little sprays. that, just leave odor behind. Anyway, it's a great product. What you do is you sort of blot up any mess, spray it, let it sit, wipe it up. There's instructions on the back of the product. I don't have it in front of me, but oh my gosh, that product is incredible for people that have pets. And if we're able to, if we can get a link to that product in the comments, if anyone's interested, that would be great. Thank you for your question. Okay, let's move on to Mary. Mary has a urine question as well. How do you get rid of the urine smell in the bathroom? So it's funny, like sometimes, there we go. Sometimes I can do it, or sometimes the person who's working with me has to do it. But for whatever reason, Mary, I couldn't get your question up on screen fast enough. Okay. So you can, funny enough, you can use Angry Orange on human pee as well, if you so choose. You can also use another enzyme-based cleaner. So something like Crud Cutter would work really well. You can also use BioClean Backout. And then there's a Canadian product. Oh my gosh. I have it right over there. I want to find it on Amazon. So Mary, I don't know where you are. But I want to see if I can find it, because it is so good. And same idea, the people who come up with these enzyme-based odor removers, they're always people that deal with pets. So this one's called, the one I wanted to tell you about is called Easy Clean, Easy-Clean. Oh, why isn't it coming up? Yeah, Easy Clean Bioenzyme Cleaner. And the idea behind an enzyme is that it's just it goes on like a seek and destroy mission. Like it finds the odor causing enzyme, it sort of attacks it and gets rid of it. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick up one of those enzyme-based products that I just rattled off for you. You're going to apply it to the area that has the odors. So if it's in the bathroom, you're going to do it to the tiles, the grout, the wall, the baseboards, the base of the toilet, anywhere where you're noticing that odor. You can even do the wall of the, counter and vanity right beside the toilet. If you really, really want to get detailed on this, you can pick up a black light on Amazon, turn the lights off, shine the black light in the bathroom a la CSI, and see where all of the splatters are. Then you can spray the areas. And by the way, if you do this, it's going to be so awful. And I'm sorry in advance. It's even bad in my bathroom. It's really gross, but it's great because it illuminates all of the problems. So you'll spray the product on, you'll let it sit. Enzyme cleaners need time to work. So it's not a spray and wipe situation. You're going to spray, you're going to let it sit for a while. Then you're going to rinse. So clean water, mop, paper towel, whatever you want to use. And then it should deal with the odor. But each product will have a very specific set of instructions that you're going to follow. So Mary, I hope that helps you. It's an issue everyone deals with, so don't feel bad about it. And there's your solution. All right, Brittany. Oh, DH. Okay. Additional information. I've been unable to clean for 6 weeks because I had surgery. Now the flat is cluttered, dusty, door needs cleaning, no dirt due to sickness itself. Okay. So, you have to move slowly. Definitely move slowly. Pace yourself. You just recovered from something. And I want you to remember that, like I said earlier, start where you are, do what you can. This isn't about perfection. You just want to get the ball rolling again, right? Because you have to give your body and your physicality time to recover. And you want to make sure you're working within the limits. I don't know what you had done. It doesn't matter, but you want to make sure you're working within the limits of what your body is able to do, given what just took place. Okay. So your flat is cluttered. One thing that you might want to start with, because it's impossible to clean a cluttered space, is start with the clutter. So maybe what that means is, give yourself 15 minutes on a timer and pick one area, one room, one drawer, one surface, whatever it is, and just declutter that. Start there. Get a garbage bin, get a recycling bin, compost, whatever it is that you need based on what you're seeing there. Tackle that. Get a laundry bin. Throw whatever needs to be washed into your laundry bin, and just start to categorize some of the clutter. Work on that for a few days. And I'm using days instead of hours because I don't want you to feel the pressure of having to make it perfect right away. Like, this is a blip on the radar in terms of time. And I'm sure it's driving you crazy to live in a mess, but like, we have seasons in life, and this is just a crappy season for you right now. Like, you just got out of surgery. You got to give your body the time it needs to recover. So do that for yourself. Okay. Um, Once you've dealt with the clutter and sort of maintain your house as best you can now going forward, now that now that you're out of your recovery phase, then you can tackle the dusting. Maybe give yourself 30 minutes to do your dusting one day. Then you can tackle the cleaning, because all dust and dirt is going to fall to the floor anyway. Sorry. Then you can tackle the floor cleaning, because all dust and dirt is going to fall to the floor anyway. And maybe the floor is the last thing you do, and you just start building little bits and pieces like laundry, dishes, back into your routine every day. And then the things that you want to start staying on top of are the dailies. So garbage, emptying garbage, compost, recycling, that's really important. I know I mentioned dishes earlier, but like, if you can stay on top of your dishes, maybe it means you're just using one set of dishes for now, like one plate, one cup, one set of cutlery. Just hand wash that every day so that you don't have to worry about loading up a whole sink or dishwasher with stuff and then having to deal with it later. Just make it as easy as you can on yourself and just go bit by bit. Okay. Because it's so important not to overwhelm yourself, even though you're out of recovery. Like, your body and your mind are going to need a little bit more time. So please go easy on yourself and just be proud that this is even a thought for you right now. And know that it won't be like this forever. So I hope that helps. We've all been there. I've been there. So you'll be okay. All right, Brittany. Brittany owns a cleaning company. Brittany, you've tuned into pretty much all of our lives, and I love hearing from you. Actually, I love hearing from all of you, but it's nice to, get follow-up messages. I've been growing my cleaning side hustle, and I have 14 clients in 2 months. Catherine, did you hear that? That's amazing. And I hired someone to help me. Thanks for all your videos. I can't wait to buy your mop. Oh, Brittany, that's so nice. And you're trying to come up with a schedule plan for your clients when you do big jobs like ovens, baseboards, pulling things out. Do you have any ideas? Yeah. You can even go to our cleanmyspace.ca website, which is the website for actual cleaning business, and you can kind of see what we offer. I think even on cleanmyspace.com, we have some checklists that we use for sort of our regular cleanings and our big cleanings. But basically what you want to do is you want to, and when I first started, I was timing myself, Brittany, because data matters. And if you can collect data, then it really makes a difference. And what you can do is you can start to say, okay, for me to clean an oven, it takes 15 minutes, to wipe it out and then to set it to self-clean. That's a 15-minute job. For me to clean an oven that doesn't have self-cleaning, I'm going to give myself 45 minutes, and then if you clean 10 houses and you track your data over that period of time and you notice like, on average, actually it took me 30 minutes, or on average, it actually took me 72 minutes, like whatever the case may be, data is helpful for you. So I recorded my times, which is sort of annoying, and it doesn't take up too much time. You can even just do it on your phone. You can have a note and you can be like, okay, starting powder room at 10:02, finish powder room at 10:17. So a powder room takes me 15 minutes. And then, if you have like 10 powder rooms that you've cleaned, you can take an average and then you can start apportioning that much time to quote your cleans. So it'll take you a bit of time to build that data up. And then it can also help you set benchmarks for when you're training your staff. Okay. So I hope that helps. Let's see. Intercat, you are part of the arsenal I use to force my filthy housemate to clean. He forgets everything, but he has trouble pretending he forgot. If I made him watch some of your videos, yay. I love that. Yeah, there's no excuse, filthy housemate. No excuse. You got to watch your Clean My Space videos. Thanks for sharing that, Intercat. And thanks for spreading the good word about CMS. Kostadinoska. Oh, Tanya. Yes, I'm sorry. I forget my terrible pronunciation of your last name. Where is it allowed and where is it not allowed to use a steam cleaner? Great question. Allowed is a relative term. I would use a steam cleaner. You can use it on fabrics as long as those fabrics are safe to be exposed to heat. So something like a very sensitive silk, you probably wouldn't want to use it on because it might pucker with the heat. But pretty much anything else, as long as you haven't been told that it's super delicate. Sorry, microphone. You should be okay. So for example, as you know, you have sofa, mattress, chairs, all of that stuff is fine. I would keep it away from wood. I would keep it away from drywall. So anything that is porous and sort of a solid, I wouldn't use it on. Hardwood, I would not use it on, of course. But any fabric, any upholstery, a rug, a drape, clothing, you're fine unless it is not safe to be exposed to heat. So hope that helps. By the way, thank you. I was just going to say, Jason, yes, how cute is this mug? I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We have some fun Clean My Space merch coming. I also have another mug. How prepared am I? This one is Cleaning Club. And I have some other things that I have been testing out and preparing, and we're going to be sharing that soon. So keep an eye out. And if you think this swag is cute, like, I don't know, I think you know me well enough at this point to know that I'm like kind of funny and self-deprecating. And even though I think cleaning sucks, you know, I love it anyway, and just try to have fun with it. So I've made some like cute merch, and I want to start getting it in people's hands. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. And I'm glad you noticed the mug. I've been using them around the house and wearing some of the shirts that I've put together and getting a lot of fun comments about them. Okay, Martha, let's see what you got here. Working on a very soiled whitish carpet just for learning. About 2x5 scrap down to the nitty gritty. Certain stains will not come out. Random stain, but some may be tar. Okay, Martha, this is so interesting that you are kind of studying carpet cleaning on a sample. I love that. Like you've just taken that initiative. That's super cool. And listen, it's a good life skill to have, especially, you know, if you're living with pets or children or people that make messes. Yeah, carpets can get very messy, very dirty, very quickly. So certain stains won't come out. Random, like a tar stain is going to be really hard to get out. So that's something where you're going to need a solvent. So a solvent is like a non-water-based cleaner that will help to lift the dirt off the surface. And it might be something that is beyond what us as regular consumers can do at home. So what I would recommend is to test everything you can and that you have access to. And once you've run out of those options, at that point is when I would bring in a professional. So obviously you're not going to do that for a piece of scrap. But if you do encounter that issue, you would definitely, that's something that you would definitely want to bring a pro in for. Now, if you're wondering what a solvent could be, so 100% pure eucalyptus essential oil is my solvent of choice. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's actually very powerful. The brand that I like is called Thursday Plantation. And the reason I like that brand is because eucalyptus, Australia, Thursday Plantation is indeed in Australia. And that eucalyptus is like super, super, super clean, pure, and you get great quality product. And it's not like exorbitantly priced. You can find it at Walmart, but it is killer. It's really good stuff. Okay. Thank you so much. The Real Jewels. I was just cleaning my linen closet and oh my God, and a whole glass container of cleansing oil just fell and broke. I've given up trying to clean it for now. Any suggestions? Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. That sounds terrible. So the first thing you want to do, obviously, is clean up that glass. And I will tell you, I dropped some glass in a bathroom a few months ago, and I thought everything was clean. And if anyone follows me on Instagram on the Melissa Maker account, you'll know that I stepped on a piece of glass and had a piece of glass in my foot. And then my heel gave birth to that piece of glass several weeks later in the form of a blister. So it was delicious. So my recommendation is it's going to be sticky. You're going to want to wad up a bunch of paper towels, and you're just going to want to do a lot of cleaning. So I know oil cleansers, for those of you who aren't familiar, it's sort of like a skin cleaning product, and it's an oil based. The idea is you fight oil with oil. It's got a little bit of soapiness to it. So I would wipe as much as you can. Then I would repeat with the paper towel, but with water. So first I would just do dry, just to clean as much of the mess up as you can. Collect glass as well as product with the paper towel, throw it into a garbage can. And then I would repeat that with paper towel and water. Just make sure that you're gloved and that you have something protecting your knees too, maybe a towel rolled up or something like that. Now, why have you given up trying to clean it? What did it fall? Did it fall, splash, ruin anything? Is there staining in the tile? Do me a favor, give me a little bit more information. Just leave another comment and I'm going to see if I can talk you through some additional steps. Okay. But just protect your body and do a lot of wiping and a lot of paper towels. So we didn't share this, but we were filming, if you watched our sponge video, and I know my team is probably crying with laughter that I'm about to share this story. But our sponge video that we put out not too long ago, I can get you that link in the description as well, where we were testing different sponges. We tested a Scotch-Brite sponge, Scrub Daddy, Scrub Mommy, a mesh chainmail scrubber, and the Maker's Clean Scrub Cloth. And we were trying to make a big mess so that we could scrub it. And we were doing a whole bunch of things around the house. And we put some cheese into a glass, like a Pyrex casserole dish. And we were doing a whole bunch of things. And then me, the idiot, put it under a broiler just as the thing itself with a little bit of cheese in there and left it for a few minutes. And then I was like, oh boy, it's probably smoking in there. I better take it out. And then I took it out. I put it on my stovetop and it exploded everywhere. It was almost like, it could have been a huge emergency. Someone could have lost an eyeball. Like, it was bad. It was very bad. And then there was a fire in my kitchen. So that was cool. A little piece flew off and then went on fire. So that was cool. Had to throw some baking soda on there, which is why in that video I say it's really good to have baking soda on hand. And we were sort of laughing behind the scenes because, we threw baking soda on there, and baking soda puts out grease fires. So don't forget that, my friends. Not water, baking soda. Wasn't bad at all. And then some pieces of flaming hot glass landed on my runner in the kitchen. And because my runner is made out of polypropylene, it melted. So I had to replace the runner. Yeah, it was just a good old time. Just a good old time. Anyway, all that to say, something. I was answering a question, then I went off on a completely selfish tangent. But at least I hope it brought you a little bit of joy and gave you a little chuckle at my expense. Okay, Robin, white towels have turned dingy gray and makeup stains are not really coming out. I have a top-loading LG machine. Wash on normal cycle, warm water per towel and start. Okay, Robin, do you use fabric softener? I want you to give me a response so I can actually see what comes up. Use Tide detergent in the white bottle. Okay. Do you use fabric softener? Okay, so if you use fabric softener, I'm going to ask you to stop. So the problem is with towels when you use fabric softener is that it doesn't release easily from the fibers of the towels. And when you're not able to release detergent or fabric softener, you're also not able to release stains. So that's thing number one. Thing number two, you're using the white bottle of Tide. So that's the Free and Gentle. Are you using like one of the top tier versions of Tide? So like in Canada, it's called Oxymax. What's it called in the States? They just came out with it. It's like their new top maybe it's cold water wash. It's like their new top tier brand of detergent. So I've tested all the different Tides. Really, their most expensive one, unfortunately, is like the most potent. And that's the one I use. Like when I use the lower tier, it doesn't always get the stains out. When I use the top tier, it's like rare that a stain won't come out. The other thing I would recommend is the Downy Rinse product, because that also helps to allow the towel fibers to release any excess detergent and any excess stains during the rinse phase of the wash cycle, which can help release those stains. Now, In the event, and that'll also help release any odors or any roughness that you experience in the towels. You also want to make sure you're dosing correctly. Like I said earlier, towels kind of hang on to detergent. If you're using too much detergent, it's not going to, you don't use fabric softener. Okay, that's good. It's not going to be able to release the detergent, and you don't use Downy sheets in the dryer, no problem. It's not going to be able to release detergent effectively if you have too much in there. Okay, you have a top load, so that's good. You're able to use a lot of water. You can add an extra rinse and an extra spin to your cycle. And then you can also use an enzyme-based stain remover on those makeup stains if you want. So Puracy stain remover is the one that I really love. And I would just hit those towels with that stain remover. You can rub it in with your finger if you want a little bit, and you can leave it there, even you can leave it up to 7 days. So you can just spray it, let it sit, launder it. All of my makeup remover cloths, like my Maker's Clean face towels, let me tell you, like when I film, I have a little filter on right now, so I'm not wearing any makeup. But when I film, of course, I'm in full clown face. And then when I take it all off, like I don't even rinse my cloths after, which is a big no. You're supposed to, but I don't. And I have like the waterproof mascara and this and that, and it all comes clean. So it can happen. It just comes down to product, technique. And if your towels are too clogged right now with detergent, it's going to make it a little hard. So you want to make sure you're using the rinse, the Downy rinse, and that you're adding an extra rinse and spin cycle. I hope that helps. Okay. Alrighty. The Real Jewels is just very messy. It's splashed all over, very greasy. It's an oil-based makeup remover, if that helps. Okay. Yeah. So what's going to help you here? You know what helps really with grease? Think about little ducks. Dawn. So if you have dish soap like Dawn liquid, Dawn power wash, you can even add like a tablespoon of Dawn, because you're going to use a heavy mix here, like a tablespoon of Dawn to like a cup of water, 2 cups of water, put in a spray bottle and just spray those greasy areas, because that dish soap is going to help cut the grease, bring it to the surface, and let you wipe it up. That's what you're going to need. You're going to need some sort of degreaser. And I feel like something as simple as dish soap can do it for you. Okay. So yeah, you can sort of layer, do the wipe down with the dry paper towel and the glass, spray that Dawn, wipe that up, rinse it with water and paper towel. And then you can repeat the last 2 steps, the Dawn and then the rinsing. So I hope that helps. And I'm sorry that happened to you. That's why I was telling you that terrible oven story. It was a big cleanup job. But it's okay. Oh yeah, and the glass, and there was glass all over my kitchen, and it was like a full-blown detective job to get rid of all that glass. Okay, so just be careful. Kathleen, how do you remove really tough stains from inside of the toilet bowl? Nothing is working, not even a pumice stone. Oh my gosh. Well, a pumice stone, that's the big gun right there. The other thing you can try soaking borax in the toilet overnight. So what you can do is you can leave like a cup of borax in the toilet bowl overnight, and sort of scrub in the morning and see if that helps. That's option 1. Option 2 is you can soak with CLR. So you can pour it in the bowl, do a soak, let it sit, scrub it, flush, and see if that helps. And what you might need to do is repeat the CLR treatment on a fairly regular basis, because what ends up happening is those stains, like those toilet bowl stains, they'll go away and then they'll come back. And if your toilet has like any micro scratches on there, from like an aggressive brush or something like that, dirt staining tends to sort of find its way in those little nooks and crannies, which is why when we talk about using the right tool for the job, you want to make sure that you're not using a tool that has the potential to scratch a surface, because in instances like this, you can have dirt, bacteria, hard water minerals kind of cling to those little micro stains and then leave additional staining. So I would say, Kathleen, like CLR, I feel would be your best bet. You want to pump down. No. You would want to keep water in there and then make a dilution, or you can do like very heavy duty cleaning vinegar if you prefer to CLR, because CLR kind of comes in a smaller bottle. So you can get like one of those big jugs of cleaning vinegar and just pour it in the toilet with the water, let it fill up, let it sit for even overnight is fine. You want to make sure you're ventilating. It's a very, very strong smell. It's going to be anything over 10%. Okay, Catherine. Sorry, Kathleen. And then what you'll do is you're going to gear up. So you're going to have eye protection, hand protection, because it's an acid. It's a very strong acid. So you want to be very careful. And then you just want to give it a good scrub and flush it. And that should help. And then repeat on a regular basis to keep it at bay. Hope that helps. Okay. Nancy, woo! Nancy, awesome. Thank you for buying the luxury face cloth and makeup remover set. I love mine. I've gifted that. I mean, I'm the owner of the company, so I'm a little biased, but everyone asks for them in our towels. People just love them. So I'm sure you will enjoy them. Oh my gosh. Yay. Hi, Natasha.
Hello.
How are you? Welcome. I always love when I get to meet someone face to face. It's great to see.
It's gonna just be easier than with the chat.
Perfect. Bring it on.
So English is my second language. So sorry if it sounds a bit Frenchy because I'm from Montreal.
So far, I got you perfectly.
Okay, thanks. For years, I used the laundry detergent True Heart, the Sheets one. It's a Canadian company. I just wanted so much for them to use to work. Sorry, but when you did your live chat with what's his name, Zach Pozniak.
Yeah.
And Caroline Forte.
Yeah.
It's just
1 sec, Natasha. Hold on. Zach Pozniak is from. He's my friend who his Instagram and TikTok account is Jeeves New York. And his family is a 4th generation dry cleaner. They run a luxury dry cleaning business in Manhattan. So like this guy is like the laundry whiz. And then Carolyn Forte is like the cleaning expert at Good Housekeeping, who I consider myself to be extremely lucky to be friends with, because she is the OG cleanfluencer. And we text, like I can ask her any questions. So when I have a specific laundry question, Zach and Carolyn are my 2 go-tos. I just wanted to give context. Carry on.
It just convinced me to switch because, well, the sheets doesn't really work.
They don't. We all wish they did. And Blue Earth Canadian, we all wish.
For my laundry, but it wasn't. So I switched for the Tide Free and Gentle.
Yep.
And oh my God, it made so much a big difference with the Downy rinse and
Yep, the Downy rinse. I know. I wish I could say, like, believe me, nothing would make me happier than to support, another Canadian business and to say, yes, there's an alternative. But honestly, like, just if you want your laundry clean. And the other thing that they pointed out was like, it's not exactly eco-friendly if you're using something and you have to wash things multiple times, like, because you're not getting a good wash the first time. That's also wasting.
That's exactly what finally when I did the change. But well, my question was, I have my 3rd baby just last month.
Oh, hello.
And I love so much the scent of the ivory.
Yeah, ivory, yeah.
Snow. And I was just wondering if you knew if it was a good one, or I just have to switch for Free and Gentle anyway, even if I just love the smell of new baby.
First of all, who do we have there?
It's Ophelia.
Ophelia.
She's old. Oh yeah.
She's beautiful. Oh, I miss that stage. She's so beautiful and she's sleeping. What a good girl. Okay, so I'm gonna say honestly. So I never use scented stuff with Riley. I just prefer not to. However, And I have sat in meetings with the people who manufacture this stuff and come up with the scents. That is like a very favored scent. Like people just love it, especially if, you know, they have babies, like they just love it. It is safe. Absolutely. I think what it comes down to is just keeping an eye on her skin and seeing if she has any reactions to it. Generally speaking, like if you love it and she's okay with it, I would say it's fine. And it comes down to preference.
Okay, so but it's working as good as
Yeah.
free and gentle.
And yeah, and if you have any specific stain issues that you need to deal with, what you can do is you can take some of that free and gentle and you can just apply it. Like, let's say she gets a little bit of spit up or something, you can apply it with your finger and a little brush, just rub it in, and you can use that detergent as a stain remover itself and just let it sit before you launder it with the draft or the ivory. It's called draft in the States, with the ivory.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. It was so nice to meet you and Ophelia. Thanks for joining.
It's been my pleasure, and thank you for all what you did. And it's been years I following you. I love all your cloth and makers clean. I use them every day, and I give them to my family once in a while.
Thank you. Thanks, Natasha. Really nice to meet you. Be well. All right. Oh, that was so much fun. Please, please, please come join me. I love it. Okay. Oh my God, we have so many questions. All right. Catherine, can you wash carpet on the stairs? Not carpeted stairs, but carpet that is on the stairs. So you mean runners? Yeah, I think you mean runners. Okay. Yes, you can. The way that I would wash them is I would use like a little Bissell steam cleaner, like one of those little guys. Um, or you can use a professional can come in. But yes, absolutely you can. It would be the same issue as anything else. You want to make sure that you're not over saturating the carpet with liquid. And you want to make sure, like if you're using a Bissell, you're going to apply the product, and then obviously you're going to extract it. So you repeat your movements with the extraction, and that's really important. So that way it sucks up any of that extra moisture, and you're not going to have any of that hanging around on the stairs, on the wood. Okay, so I hope that helps. All right, what question do we have next? Oh, a plastic texture to the floor in the bathroom. How do we clean it? Maybe that sounds like vinyl. So yeah, you can just clean that with a basic cleaner, even like a, you know, like a Mr. Clean. You can use a little bit of Dawn in water. You can use vinegar. That's a very flexible floor. So yeah, it can handle a lot. I wouldn't use bleach on it or anything abrasive, but in terms of a detergent, yeah, you can use any sort of dilutable cleaner, you know, Fabuloso, Lysol, Mr. Clean, Dawn, like, you know, pick whatever you like and you can use that. Hope that helps. The trickster. I accidentally dropped super glue and landed on my floral design. Is it possible to remove without damaging the design? Yeah. I mean, super glue is tough by design. What you can do, you're going to need a solvent for this one. So you can try the eucalyptus essential oil as well. What you want to do is test it in a hidden area of the rug first. So a corner, something under a piece of furniture. That way, you know, you're going to apply it, let it sit, kind of rub it in, and then blot it out with your finger and or with a paper towel. And you want to see if it is capable of coming out. If it is, amazing, proceed. If it causes any discoloration or anything like that, then avoid it. But a solvent is what you're going to need to dissolve that glue. All right. Now, if you don't feel 100% comfortable about this, you love this rug, it's an expensive rug, it's a very obvious spot, you might be better off taking the rug to a pro and letting them do it, or bringing someone in to treat it for you. I know it's annoying, but at the end of the day, like sometimes it's just not worth risking it, you know, if you really love the item. All right. I hope that helps. Okay. Cecile, when you have debris on a surface, do you wipe it before or after spraying? And is it okay to use a wet microfiber cloth? I love this question. We always want to do a dry wipe first for any debris. If it's like a kitchen counter and you just made a sandwich, it's not a big deal. But if there's like a ton of debris, or if it's really fine, so if it's dust, then I like to do a dry wipe first, only because if it's really fine or if there's a lot of it, when it gets wet, it's just harder to deal with. And in the case of dust, dust actually gets sticky when it's wet. So in those cases, you're going to do a dry wipe first. Then you can spray your all-purpose cleaner. And is it okay to use a wet microfiber cloth? Yeah, when you're doing there's a difference in cleaning between wet cleaning and dry cleaning. So dry cleaning is when you're just exactly like we're talking about, dusting, removing anything that we know is going to be difficult to clean later. So for example, when we're cleaning a windowsill, right? And there's like those little muddy crumbles there. Like we don't want to spray those first because then it's just going to spread the mud and make the cleaning job actually more difficult. So we're going to dry clean that first and then do our wet cleaning. So when we think about your question, we're going to separate the wet from the dry. If it's, not a big deal, like crumbs on a kitchen counter, we're just going to, go for it. But if it's like a ton of dust on something or tons of flour on a kitchen counter because we just baked something, we'll dry clean first and then we'll wet clean. When we're dry cleaning, we're going to use dry tools. When we wet clean, we can use wet tools. So I hope that answers your question. Teeny tiny reminder before we get to Carol. Hey, Carol. Carol is one of our members, and I also like to talk to Carol on Instagram. So if you're not following us on Instagram, you can do so at Clean My Space, and me, where I share all of my dorky thoughts and memes and horrible photos of myself. That's at Melissa Maker. The makeup comes off without any makeup remover, just the towel. Okay, so the face cloth that I was talking about, Carol, I know this is what you're talking about. I use micellar water on my eyes. So the first thing I do when I take off my makeup after filming is I use, I don't know, I think it's Garnier, whatever it is, whatever's on sale, the micellar water. And I throw some of that on the cloth, and then I just take off my mascara and my eyeshadow and a primer and, all the stuff that makes it impossible to remove. And then I will wash I'll wet my face, and then I use CeraVe foaming cleanser, and I just clean my face with the cleanser, and then I use the cloth wet to remove the cleanser. And to be honest, when I have makeup, I double cleanse. So I'll repeat the whole process with the CeraVe face cleanser only, not with the micellar water. But I'll put the CeraVe usually on my eyes too. I find that the foaming cleanser is so amazing. It's like in a clear kind of yellowish bottle with green font on it. Oh my gosh. Someone turned me on to that maybe about a year and a half ago. I was buying like organic, like Eminence, like really expensive stuff. And I have to say, like, this CeraVe stuff is amazing. But that's what I use, Carol. That's it. Yeah, I wouldn't remove makeup. Like, I know the makeup eraser would always say, oh yeah, you can remove your makeup with just the cloth. Like, why would you do that to your skin? Sure, the cloth is capable of doing that, but like, why would you do that to your skin? Oh, thank you, Marianine. That's very nice of you to say. I think they are too, that our makeup removers cloths are far superior to the makeup erasers. So what our team did was we sort of reverse engineered the makeup eraser cloth. We looked at it. We thought about what we liked, what we didn't like, what could be improved upon. And then we came out with ours. So I know it's better, but I'm really glad that you feel that way too. Thanks. Because like sometimes I sound really biased. I'm like, they're so good. They're great. They're amazing. They work so well. But yeah, thank you. That means a lot. Alrighty. Kathy, we recently moved. Our new oven has a glass top. I'm having trouble keeping it clean and nice, not spotted. Any advice would be appreciated. Okay. So products I love for a glass cooktop would be anything that has a mild abrasion. You know what's great and easy? A magic eraser. A magic eraser works magic on those cooktops. And yes, it's safe to use. What else is great? The pink stuff. It's a mild abrasive cleanser. Ceramibrite is another great option. The most important things, and you want to use a non-scratching sponge. So like the Maker's Clean Scrub Cloth is a great choice. You can use a Scotch-Brite non-scratch scrub pad. So that's like the blue scrub pad. That would be great for it as well. And really what you want to do, Kathy, is you want to make sure of a couple things. And this is great advice for anyone who has a glass cooktop. And this goes for whether it's electric or induction. So I have induction. Both electric and induction use glass. The benefit to induction is that it cools a lot quicker than electric does, right? Because it only heats up that one specific area on the element where your pot is, because it all works with magnets. You want to clean the mess as quickly as you can. So that way it doesn't have time to cool onto the glass surface. So something really difficult would be something sugary, like even tomato sauce, sugar, if you're making like caramel or something like that. If that dries and then reheats again, it's going to be really hard to get rid of. And that's the stuff that's going to have you scrubbing and really frustrated. And you don't want to get there. So you want to let your cooktop cool enough where you can touch it, but it's still warm so that hasn't had time to harden. All right. So that's tip number 1. And then tip number 2, if you want to keep it looking good, just in general, how do you get it looking shiny? I'll use a little bit of dish soap and water. Like sometimes I'll just hit it with Dawn Power Wash, give it a wipe down, and then vinegar is really good just to cut any of those streaks because it's glass, right? So you can just pour a little bit of vinegar on there and just buff it with a microfiber cloth. Chef's kiss, looks amazing. So I hope that helps. All right, let's see what else we got. Oh, Libby, nice to see you. Libby's another one of our members. Yeah, I keep shouting out members. You can join the Clean My Space community. We've got information in the description on how you can do that. It's just a lovely way to support the channel, the team and I for the work that we do, but also you get a lot of benefits. You get little extra shout outs, but you also get special custom emojis that you can leave in the comments. You get badges, all kinds of little cute things. Also, just want a quick remind before I get to Kirsten, if you haven't done so, join the Dirty Dish. It's a great newsletter that I put out, every week, and I get all good cleaning information in there. It's very case specific. I think because my assistant, I write them, and then Ronit, who works with me, she puts them out. So I think we just did cleaning in the sun. I don't know. My brain's always a few weeks ahead. But yeah, so we put out these newsletters. I write them, I think them through. I'm always like, what do people want to know? And I use ChatGPT to help me kind of render it down to just the facts, because as you all know from listening to me for the last hour, I overtalk and I don't want to bore you in my emails. So sign up for the Dirty Dish if you haven't done so. And we keep talking about the makeup remover cloths. They're currently 20% off on the Makers Clean website. So links to that as well below. Okay. Oh, and if you want to talk to me, you know what to do. There's a little link. So you can just click that link and you can come up and chat with me on screen. Okay. Kirsten, what's the best way to keep window blinds clean without taking them down from the windows and putting them in a tub of water? Yeah. Great question. Because who wants to do that? So this goes back to the question we had earlier from Cecilia. I'm sorry if it's either Cecile or Cecilia. Because I don't see your comment here anymore. Okay, so you want to make sure you're doing your dry cleaning first. So we're going to dust first. So you can use a thick microfiber cloth. If we're speaking maker's language, that's where you would want to use the duo cloth. And you're going to use that, or you can use the cleaning mitt that we have, the little green cleaning mitt that looks like Kermit the Frog. You can dust your blinds with that, because what you want to do is you want to shake any of that dirt loose. If it gets wet, it's going to make your job so much harder. Then you're going to turn the blinds. This is a little action of turning the blinds over to the other side. You're going to repeat. You can also give them like a little light ruffle like this, like just hold the blinds and shake them, just to shake everything down to the bottom. Okay. Once that's done, then you can use your wet cleaning tools. So you can use the same microfiber cloth. You can spray that with a little bit of soapy water, and you can do a wipe. You can work. So what I always do is I like to support the slat from one side with my arm, and then use the cloth and do a wipe with the other side. So that way it's not bending and making that awful metal bending noise. I'm sure we all know that noise. So you can work section by section, maybe 3 or 4 slats at a time, and then you're going to turn them over and repeat. Okay. You want to make sure that you're not getting any sort of dripping. So if it's getting to be a bit of a wet mess, you can roll up a towel and place it right at the bottom of the windowsill so that you're not getting a ton of mess. Once that's done, Kirsten, you can take a clean section of the microfiber cloth or a fresh cloth, dip it in water, and just wipe it down just to get rid of any extra dirt or debris and soapy liquid, and then you're done. So I know I made it sound a lot easier than it is. It does take a bit of time to do, but thankfully you don't have to do it that often. So I hope that helps. Okay, sing it. You have an electric water dispenser for your care of cleaning houses. How often do you suggest cleaning the machine internal parts? Yeah, that is something. So I wouldn't include that in a regular cleaning service job. That is like a homeowner's thing to maintain. How often do you suggest cleaning the machine's internal parts? So it depends. Like some people, I just want to make sure. Are you talking about like a reverse osmosis faucet that you would have installed? Or are you talking about like the electric water dispenser in a refrigerator? So if it's in a refrigerator, there are like every manufacturer is going to have a special way that you can do the cleaning, but it's a good idea to clean those like at least once a year, if not twice. And also you can change the filters. Like on my LG fridge, you get the new filter, you remove the ice bin, you literally do a quarter turn, remove the filter, put the new filter in, do a quarter turn, close it, put the ice back. It takes like 14 seconds to do. So it's very easy to do. And then if you have like a reverse osmosis or whatever, a filter, like those little small faucets in your kitchen, you can clean those again, like annually or whenever you're replacing the filters would be a good idea. And again, it's going to be the manufacturer that would tell you exactly how to do that. All right. Rhiannon, my oven caught fire after some bacon grease spilled. It went out after a minute. Should I use the self-cleaning option in the op? Yeah, absolutely. You should use the self-cleaning option. What you can do is first just take a wet paper towel and wipe out any of the debris that's been left behind, because any of that debris is just going to be smoky. So you might as well just wipe it out and get rid of it, and then throw on that self-cleaning feature and just ventilate really well, open a window, let the oven do its thing. Once that's done, you should be able to open it up and give it a wipe down. And I'm sorry that happened to you. And I hope that I just want to remind everybody, first of all, please make sure that you have some sort of tool in your kitchen to put out a fire, whether it's a fire extinguisher or a fire blanket or a box of baking soda, whatever it is, please make sure you have one. My kitchen would have been on fire if I didn't have baking soda under my kitchen sink. I also have a fire extinguisher, but the baking soda was easier and quicker to get to, and frankly less dramatic because it was very small. But yeah, just remember, if it's a fire, if it's like, electrical, or not electrical, but yeah, if it's not a grease fire, you can use water. If it's a grease fire, you have to use baking soda, or something like a chemical to put the fire out. Okay, because if you splash water on a bacon grease fire, it's going to explode. It's very bad. Okay. Grace, my mom hates the smell of Dawn Power Wash. Oh my gosh. So yeah, Dawn Power Wash thinks it's really bad for me. I like using it, but she's worrying about harmful chemicals. Is it safe to use? Okay. So Grace, here's the deal. First of all, there's one Dawn Power Wash that I think smells so bad that I've complained to them several times. And I'm like, this is offensive. I won't use it. And anyway, so it's not just because of me. A lot of people complain about this one particular scent. I think it's like their rain or fresh rain. It's like one of their most popular ones. Anyway, they have a lighter scent. I think it's called like clean. I don't remember what it's called. If you give me a minute, I can look it up on the internet. But they have a clear version that they call it Light Pear, and it's got like a very light scent. I don't know if you're in Canada or in the States, but like in Canada, if you go to Dollarama, for example, or certain stores, they'll have apple, they'll have lemon, they have like different scents. So if your mom hates the scent, it could just be that she could pick another scent that she might like, because that's what I ended up doing. However, the chemicals in the scent of Dawn. So this is an ongoing issue that I think it's really frustrating to deal with because there's a lot of misinformation out there, and people will say things like, "Oh, Procter & Gamble tests on animals. Procter & Gamble this. Oh, the chemicals cause cancer. Oh, this, oh that." Like, it's very easy to get swept up in that because like one blogger says it and then another blogger says it, and it's like, it's just like a cycle of bad information getting fed through, and that's how we get sort of misinformation. And I can say this confidently because I have sat in the rooms with the people who, like the perfumers, the people who make this, the chemists, the people who sit there, and like they ask, like, what are the concerns that your audience has? And I'll say, like, I'm concerned about it too. Like, are these scents really harmful? And they have like on their website a whole mandate explaining how they go about maintaining safety for their products and the research that they do, and how there's like a safe limit for something to be used, like a known safe limit. And then they go well below that safe limit. So if there's a scent that they're using, it is safe. Everybody's different. So they can't account for the 8 billion people in the world and how they might react to a certain scent or chemical, because these scents are essentially chemicals, right? Like they're synthetics. They're not using natural essential oil because they would take over like, half the square footage of the universe if they had to do that to, grow eucalyptus or lavender. So it's synthetic, but it's safe. But not everybody reacts the same way. Like you have people that have allergies to perfume, right? So it really comes down to the person, but they're not harmful in the sense that they're going to cause you any illness or danger or harm, so long as your body is okay with them. And you can look this up. I know this is a long answer, but you can look this up on the Procter & Gamble website where they talk about safety, like product safety, and how they do their manufacturing and testing and all of that stuff. Okay. But great question. And I would encourage you to keep using it. You can use the clear one, the free and clear, or the free and gentle, which is like that light pear scent, if you want. All right. I hope everybody's okay. We're over an hour, and I'm happy to end it at an hour. But you know what? We have so many terrific questions. I just want to keep going. Jen wants to know, what's the best battery operated scrubber for shower and bathtubs? Honestly, Jan, whichever one Amazon has on sale. Okay, they're all pretty much the same. They're all the same. Look for one that comes with the components that you want. Look for one that doesn't have 2 reviews. Like, look for one that has a decent amount of reviews. But generally speaking, like what happens on Amazon is one company will make a rotating scrub brush and then 200 make a rotating scrub brush. They're all the same thing. And a lot of these factories are feeding like the Home Hardwares and Home Depots of the world. So, that's what I would do. But there's no one best scrubber for shower. It's like, look on Amazon, see which one's on sale, has good reviews, get that one. Live, laugh, scrub. H. Grant, as a fellow Canadian, I'm struggling with purchasing products from the US. How do you deal with it yourself? Do you mean like you're struggling with purchasing products from the US because you have like an issue with it politically? Or do you mean you have an issue with it because it's hard to obtain things because of all of the tariffs that have been imposed and like the difficulty in getting products across the border? If you don't mind expanding on your question, then I can give you a more informed answer. Okay. Let me go to Karen's question. Do you have suggestions for cleaning a very deep copper sink? Barkeeper's friend works for the bottom, but I can't get the sides clean. I wonder why you can't. I wonder why you can't get the sides clean, because Barkeeper's friend would be great for that. Have you tried the Barkeeper's friend liquid? Because maybe the powder, you can't get it to cling on to the sides. So in your case, the liquid might be a better choice for you because you can sort of squirt it on the areas that you need it, rub it in with your scrub cloth or sponge, whatever you're using. And it'll sort of have like more of a stickability to the surface. And then you can deal with your cleaning conundrum there. So if that's your challenge, switch it up to the liquid, and I think you'll have great success with it. So I hope that helps. All right. Carol, do you know a good way to clean the perforated seats in my car? I eat in my car sometimes. Same girl, same. And stuff gets into those little holes and it's hard to get out. You know what's really great for that, Carol? Um, so like the low tech solution is just wadding up a piece of tape. Like if you have masking tape, painter's tape, packing tape, you just wad it up, make like a sticky ball and kind of get it in there. You can also, if you want to buy something, you can buy that cleaning slime. And that's a really great way to get in there too. But those would be like my two recommendations. They're also really good for getting into the gear shifter, you know, because that's where like crumbs go to die in my car. So you can try those two things, and I'm sure you will have great success with the tape. And if not, you can switch over to the oh, there goes that midday mind fog. What did I call it? Cleaning slime. There we go. All right, Carol, hope that helps. All right, Abraham, I have a whole room full of die casts and having trouble with my big enemy dust. What do you recommend to have better control of it? Color me embarrassed, but I don't know what that means. One thing I've seen, and I'll say this because I don't exactly know what 1/64th to 1/18th die cast means. It sounds like some sort of a workshop situation. So what some people do in workshops is they will just have a dedicated shop vac and they will use that to clean surfaces and areas, floors, while they are, after they are finished doing their work. Some people even have like kind of like filters or vacuums that they run while they're doing their work. And that can help too. The most important thing is you want to make sure that you have something that is suitable for whatever material it is you're working with, whether it's metal or wood or whatever the case is. But that is like job one. You've got to have good vacuuming, good filtration in there. Make sure that you're changing and cleaning those filters often. And staying on top of it. Like, while I don't know the specifics of what you're talking about, I do know the number one way you're going to deal with that dust issue is to be running filtration and to be using a shop vac to clean up your area after all of that work. Okay. So while I couldn't give you the perfect answer, I hope I gave you an answer that at least sets you on the right path. M&A wants to know, how do you involve exercise in cleaning? Let's see. I mean, there are different ways that you can go about this. I know some people will like squat while they're doing their cleaning. So, it's really important that when you're cleaning, you're not bending over here, but rather you're using your knees so you can, like, no pun intended, but like put your back into it. Like, and I mean booty when I say back, but like you can sort of like do squats and sort of raise up and raise down, and kind of work your thighs and your glutes that way. If you have to do any high dusting, you can also go on your toes and sort of work your calves that way. When it comes to doing the rest of your cleaning, like it's hard to sort of get your arm stuff going. One thing you can do that I know people really love are wrist and ankle weights. Some people also wear those weighted vests as well, just for general things that they do around the house. So those are really great ways to just add a little bit of weight bearing exercise, or challenge your body a little bit while you're doing your cleaning. Remember that, while you're cleaning, you are doing a lot of work. You're very well likely going to break a sweat. I certainly do. So yeah, I mean, I don't think there's, in terms of cardio, like going up and down the stairs a lot. I would just say to sort of think more in terms of like calisthenics, like things that you can do to challenge your muscles while you're cleaning. Sort of like the squats and the extra weights on your wrists and ankles and the vest, and sort of just thinking about, you're doing a lot of repetitive motion. So if there's anything, if you want to like add an extra 5 to whatever you're doing, you can do that as well. But honestly, cleaning is exercise. So I love that. I love that that's where your mind is going. All right, Shauna. I'm a widow and I'm not really sure how to determine the amount of laundry detergent for my very small loads. Okay, so you have a couple options here. I would say, you could use, like, when I think, so first of all, you could wait until you accumulate more laundry. That's option one. But I want you to think about, if we're thinking about liquid detergent, okay? You get like the cup that the liquid detergent comes in, and then it has the marks on it. So you've got 1, 2, 3, usually up to 5. So when I think about that cup, I think about it in terms of the window on my laundry machine door. So I have a front loader. And if you think about it like a porthole on a ship, right? You can sort of think about, if it's 1/3 the way full, I would probably fill my laundry detergent cup up to 2. If it's halfway full, I would fill it to 3. If it's 3/4 full, I would fill it to 5. And that's kind of the way I would go. I will say, Shauna, you're not alone here in that one of the biggest challenges people have with laundry detergent is the dosing. I don't think it's very clear. And this is some of the feedback that I've given to Tide over the years as well. Like, no one can figure it out. And honestly, sometimes they're just like, yeah, I mean, you just sort of, and I'm like, no, that actually makes it really difficult. Like, it's very hard. So me and Zach, like I said, from Jeeves, and, a bunch of Melissa Pateros, like, we've all sort of talked about it, and we've all sort of agreed on that. If you're looking at the lid, sort of those marks versus what you have on the window of your front loading machine. So 1/3, let's call it a half, and then 2/3 full. Because you never want your machine to be more full than that, because then the clothing can't flip around. So I hope that helps. All righty. Let me get back to, where was that response? H Grant, politically. Okay. So you asked earlier about how do I square buying US products. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, the stuff that's going on politically, there's some stuff that's in our control and there's some stuff that's not in my control. And like, this is just my personal take, and I don't want to get too into politics, but like, me, like, not buying something from the US isn't going to solve what's going on. And if I need something, I'm just going to get it anyway. It might be right, it might be wrong. I mean, one thing I've been trying to do is to support more Canadian companies. So in the example of the enzyme cleaner, Easy Clean is a Canadian business. They're from Calgary. So I like supporting them, because why wouldn't I? I would choose to. And even when I go on the morning show, for those of you who are in Canada, it's Global's morning show. It's the #1 daytime show in Canada, by the way, everybody. And for those of you in the States, it's like our equivalent of the Today Show. And I'm a regular guest on that show. So when I go on the show, one of our mandates is to promote Canadian products. And that's really important to us as a show. And that's really important to Canadians as consumers. So, I think we all try to do our best. But in some cases, like, if there's something that I really need that's American made, like, I don't boycott it, only because, like, that's just making my life harder. Anyway, that's like a really personal opinion. And I try not to get too political about things. Okay. Grace, she's seen the apple scent, so she'll try it. I personally, I think the apple scent for Dawn Power Wash is like really lovely, and I really enjoy it. Carol, you said you never thought about using tape. The second thing I was talking about was cleaning slime. So we have a car cleaning video. I can put that up for you. And it's basically like putty, and you get it in a jar. It's like slime, and you just kind of take it out of the jar and you press it down, and it sort of shape shifts and forms right to whatever area you need it to, and you press it down, and then you lift it up, and all the schmutz is stuck in the slime. Alrighty. Oh, Carol, that's great. You got a weighted vest, and you hope it helps with osteopenia. Yep. So yeah, osteopenia is what you get. It's sort of like you're predisposed to osteoporosis. My mom has it, and frankly, most women are predisposed to it. So yeah, one of the best ways that you can protect yourself from it is to do weight bearing exercises. So yeah, using a weighted vest is great. Jason says, "Hey Melissa, can you stop talking?" Thanks, Jason. Jake's mom. I've heard dishwasher pods can gum up the pipes. What do you recommend? They can't. They can't and they won't. Um, I don't know who told you that, but they can't and they won't. And I recommend using hot water when you wash your dishes, which your dishwasher should be doing anyway. But the one that I use is Cascade, and I've been using it for years and years and years, and I've never had an issue with that. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that you, H Grant, that you like my response. And yeah, don't feel bad about buying Dawn Power Wash. And Maya Shyam, nice to see you. Hi, Maya. Induction plate cleaning. So that would be the same as a glass cooktop cleaning. And I think we should have a video on how to do that. I did talk about it earlier during this live stream, but yeah, I'll make a note. And if we do have one of those videos handy, someone in my team will put it in the comments for you. But yes, we'll definitely touch upon that topic. Jake's mom, thank you. And yes, Carol, sometimes a garment will say wash separately. Does that mean to wash one garment all by itself, which seems ridiculous on a washing machine? Yeah, it is kind of ridiculous. So wash separately, what I take that to mean is like I'll put that in a delicates bag and I'll wash it with light colors. So that's what I do when it says wash separately. That's what I do, just as a little aside. All right. And Richie likes my hands. Thanks. You can follow me on my Instagram account at Melissa Maker, and every now and then I post my new nail colors. Maya, you're welcome. Abraham, you say, sorry, should have been more specific with the collection room. So if that's just an area where you're keeping all of your collectibles, I think a shop vac is the best way to go. And also if you put in there like a little air purifier or like an air filter in there, like, you know, a little kind of Blue Air or some Levoit, like some cheapy thing you can get on Amazon, that should also help. But vacuuming in there regularly and dusting is going to make a big difference, because if you have a lot of little things all over the place, you have a lot of horizontal surfaces for dust to fall. So you want to stay on top of that. All right, my friends, listen, I have a call that I need to get on. So unfortunately, I have to end this live stream. It was so lovely to talk to all of you today. Thank you so much for your terrific questions, and you're always so much fun to chat with. I wish you a really amazing rest of July. I will see you at the beginning of August, where you can bring back all of these cleaning questions. I will remind you to subscribe to The Dirty Dish. I will remind you to check out makersclean.com, where you can get 20% off our amazing face cloths right now. And oh yes, and if you haven't done so, remember, you know, on YouTube, they have like that little bell, that little notification bell. That bell tells you whenever we have a new video that comes out. So, and when we're going live. So make sure that you turn that bell on your Clean My Space subscription. All right, my friends, have a great rest of your afternoon, and I will see you very, very soon. Take good care.